8 people were killed that night on April 15th of 2021.
So this week now, we're looking back at the lives that were lost and also the impact those crimes have had on so many people. Dustin Grove sat down with the IMPD chief this afternoon, and the officers that he has command over were some of the very first to arrive on the scene. We remember that night, how slowly the details were coming out until we understand the magnitude of what had happened.
Yeah, so many people remember exactly where they were when they first heard what happened. Police were there immediately. So was the police department's victim assistance team. Those are the men and women who go to the scene to intervene whenever there's a crisis. And this one, of course, was like none they had ever seen. Lisa Brown manages that unit. She and Chief Randy Taylor were at the hotel that night where all those families had gathered, waiting to find out if their loved one was okay. In the end, 8 families were left receiving that devastating news they hoped they wouldn't have to hear. But Chief Taylor said the community really did wrap its arms around those people and continue to today.
Not only during that time, but in the days and weeks following that. You had a number of places that did, different prayer vigils and those kind of things. And I think we've really taken care of that family. I mean, we're still in contact with those families.
There's nothing we can say, nothing we can do to fix this. And sometimes you just have to sit with people. We call it the ministry of presence, just to be with them.
In the years since the shooting, Chief Taylor says IMPD has been laser focused on making sure its own officers are okay and processing what happened that night with somebody, whether it's a mental health professional through the police department or maybe just a friend. He said police have to be okay getting emotional help when they need it, especially after something like the FedEx shooting. You know, like much of society, there's long been a stigma of mental health. I'm okay, I can tough it out. But Chief Taylor said we've really got to get past that, especially with police officers who see so much.
And there are resources out there too for them.
Yeah, and when you remove the mask, that's when the healing really can begin.
Absolutely.